Hey everybody, welcome to Bura. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about the time Udemy almost had a direct competitor. Alright, we're going to back forward to the video. Make sure that you like, subscribe. The more subscribers you get, the more content we can make. Number one reason why you subscribe to this amazing YouTube channel is to get in the money-making trends before they go mainstream. Alright, so let's take a look at the Udemy stock. Yesterday, it actually was a pretty good day. When I stopped recording, I think it was up quite a bit. I was about here, and then, it has gone up since. And then for some reason, it is going down here. It actually opened up in the green. But here's the thing about that. Well, I look at the markets here. They're not doing quite well. And if we go to crypto, cryptocurrency.com, you can see that Bitcoin has now gone below 60,000. So who knows? Are things going back down to 30,000? Nobody knows, really. So let's take a look at all of that here. So one thing I'm going to do is talk about the time that Udemy almost had a direct competitor. And crypto is really important. In fact, let's pull up the Bitcoin chart here because it does make a little bit of, I do basically have to do that here. So let's go to the max here. And let's take a look at this little blip here. I'm not sure if I can do that here. But basically, there was a massive crypto kind of bubble around the 2017. And then 2018, it kind of crashed down and then crashed down. And then obviously, it's now higher. So things could go back down here. Who knows with crypto? We just honestly don't know. But nevertheless, this particular bubble is important because there was something called ICOs, which was called an initial coin offering. And basically an ICO is kind of like an IPO where you get money for raising funds, except it was for a specific coin. So if you had an idea for a coin, then you could basically you could do it here. Now, the thing is that Ethereum makes a little bit more sense with this, which I'll explain in just a second here. But nevertheless, these ICOs were actually not terrible, an idea, right? Believe it or not, most of them were scams. However, there were some that actually did raise money for a specific purpose. And one of those companies was BitDegree. Now, let's take a look at BitDegree here. Now, BitDegree is essentially exactly like Udemy. And if anyone wants to make a Udemy competitor, I would just purchase BitDegree, and then, well, you can basically take my suggestions as to what to do here. But essentially, it is kind of what Udemy is. You can see here that it's, you can buy these courses here. And you can see all the courses. So you can buy this. It's very similar. It's a la carte pricing, which is great. And you can buy now, etc. And you can see how it's set up like Udemy. Now, why hasn't anybody heard of it? Well, the short answer is that there's not enough traffic to it, and people aren't making a lot of money with it. Now, they're actually doing not too terrible of a job with this, but it just goes to show you it can be hard here. Look at that! So I clicked the all courses, and my courses are there, which I'll talk about in a second here. But basically, nobody uploads to BitDegree, which I think people should upload to BitDegree more. Now, of course, I make a lot more money, than I make on Udemy than I make on BitDegree, and it would be great if BitDegree did become the competitor here. Now, I have mentioned. And I've given them suggestions. However, they haven't really, worked with my suggestions here. But you see I'm quite a bit younger here, which I kind of find a bit funny. But nevertheless, look at that. All three of these. These are some of my best courses, by the way. The HTML for an hour, CSS for an hour, and then JavaScript in 1 hour. You got an hour to kill. You might as well learn to code, right? So very, very good stuff. I'm very, very happy with that. And I'm very happy to see that my courses are still up there. However, one of the things with BitDegree is that people don't upload it. Now, you can see that's very similar to Udemy. And I'm going to continue my story about all of the crypto stuff in a minute here. But one of the things I want to talk about is that they actually have a pretty good affiliate commission here. They also have their own token, which again I'll talk about in a minute here. Now the thing is that people just don't view courses on BitDegree as a place to put your courses here. And one of the reasons is I don't think you can really message your students. And that's a really important thing, because the number one reason why Udemy Udemy works is to message your students. So, if I could, one, put my course on BitDegree for free, two, talk to my students, and three, if I could, maybe even get some lists, like if I could, harvest the list or something like that, I think that would be a huge thing. And I think people would start to go to BitDegree more. And, right now it's like, nobody knows of this, and hopefully this video helps that out. But let's talk a little bit about how it worked here. So basically, they did an ICO sometime in like late 2017, and I get an email in January 2018 saying they want to license my courses, and I'm like, okay, that sounds good. And they gave me a lot of money, like a lot of money. And at this point in time, this was coming off of the price change of Udemy, and while sales were going good and on Udemy, they basically gave me a lot of money, and I couldn't say no to it. So nevertheless, it was quite a bit here, and they actually wanted to pay me in Ethereum, and I remember the price being $850 at the time, and then it went down. I'm like, oh, I made the best decision here. But if I had kept that, it would have been quite a bit more, but obviously I needed that money to run my business here. But anyway, so what they've done here is, they raised all this money and then crypto crashed. Now, had crypto not crashed, I think BitDegree would have probably been the a direct competitor here. It's, imagine if whatever you're holding here just completely goes out to nothing, like your money just becomes worthless, or whatever you have in your, I'd say, look at that, we can do this. Couldn't do it with Bitcoin, but anyway, let's zoom in on this here. So as you can see, they did the ICO, and then Ethereum topped up at 14, which is kind of laughable now. But anyway, it went down to 300, and then obviously went down to like about 200 here. And then anyway, so if they hadn't crashed, I think BitDegree would probably have, like if it kept around the 800 or at least went up back to 1400, I think they would have absolutely been a competitor. And Udemy's really lucky because their site is very well polished, right? They could probably, I'm not sure how much A/B testing they do, but they do have a lot of really good things going for them. And it's really, really awesome here. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of different languages it has there. But let's talk about the BitDegree coin. Now, BitDegree has a coin, which is really cool. And if I go, to like the year or the max here, it kind of topped out around 2018. And look at that, there was a huge spike up to 10 cents. And I kind of want to put, $1,000 into this just to see what happens here. But you see the market cap isn't very big. But I think now that Udemy has IPO'd and that the IPO is going, decently, right? Like well, of course, today's a bad day in the stock market. And again, I don't think Udemy is a short unless, you're going to short the stock market. So if you wouldn't short the S&P, you wouldn't short Udemy. Let's put it that way. In terms of my short position, and again, I wouldn't short it at all. But anyway, so it does have a coin which you can accrue with, by either affiliating or, just directly, you can accrue by affiliating, or you can accrue it on the platform as an instructor. I think this is really cool. It's kind of like what Odyssey is doing. And this particular project, this BitDegree project, I don't think gets enough mention, just because I think it's really good. And again, I know the space extremely well, and it wouldn't take much money for BitDegree to really take it up to the next level. So as you can see, it's pretty nice here. And if you can see here that, my site here, which I should probably update, but it's got experience points, which, I've been asking Udemy to do that for a while here. And the fact that there's no gamification on Udemy, like they're always concerned about engagement on Udemy, but there's no gamification. maybe they don't like it or they don't understand it. And personally, okay, now the thing about, I could do a whole video about gamification, but for me, the gamification, I don't really like it myself personally, but that's not what the data shows. The data shows that if you add in gamification, it does increase engagement here. So you can see here that there's, certificates, and the whole thing just feels like extremely polished here. Everything is quite well done with BitDegree. Now, of course, BitDegree is in Lithuania here, and if anyone really, again, wanted to compete with Udemy, they should just purchase everything here and then take it up to the next level. They could do that, and really, I hear this a lot. I want to compete with Udemy. Every time I go to some kind of education conference, there's someone there, and so it's really simple. You have a marketplace, and you allow the instructor to message the student directly, not only for your own promotional courses, but education announcements. And if you really want to compete with Udemy, you can, I'm not going to say harvest the list here because that wouldn't be good. But what you could say is hey, you could promote other products, right? It could be anything. It could be a software as a service. It could be your web hosting. It could be your own list. You can say to your students, hey, do you want to sign up to the Mammoth Interactive list? I can't do that on Udemy, right? And I understand why. They don't want you to do that, but it would be good, and I think they would make more money if they just allowed a little bit more flexibility here. Nevertheless, BitDegree is an extremely underrated project. It's so underrated that I kind of just want to purchase tokens. And I don't think I can purchase this in a lot of places. Does it say which exchange? Okay, yeah. So, so it's based off of BTC. Okay, so yeah, you can buy some in some spaces here, but nevertheless, I think it's really good. I kind of want to buy this just because it's such an undervalued thing, and now that Udemy is of course going to is IPO'd and it's doing quite well. Because it's doing so well, I expect this to be, one of the top competitors for it, because it does such a good job. I don't know how much money it makes, but what it really needs is to amp up its affiliates, and it needs to basically, the more free courses it gives, the better here. And I think that there's always room for a competitor. If we're going to talk about, crypto, right? Which I do talk about on my channel from time to time, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana and Cardano. These are all competitors within each other. I mean, obviously Bitcoin's the big one, but you never know, and that's what's kind of lacking in the online learning marketplace. There's one marketplace, one. There's not many. There's basically one, and the rest are not as consequential, because every time I upload a course, it never generates any money. And again, if you're listening to this and you want to make a Udemy competitor, it's quite simple. In fact, I should do a whole video on what the best Udemy competitor will be. But it's pretty simple. 1, you allow people to give courses away for free. 2, you can message your students with upsells to your own courses on the platform. And you can ask people to go to your personal list, an opt-in situation, as well as you can sell your own products elsewhere, making it scalable so that your goal would be to have several multi-million-dollar companies on your platform. Okay, you attract the multi-million-dollar companies and make it possible for them to compete and to basically serve students. You'll definitely do a good job, and that would be a huge issue or a huge issue with Udemy. They would not like that, and then chances are their reaction would be, we're going to make things a lot more exclusive only. Right now, it's not exclusive, which is great, but in the future, they might do that. That would be their reaction. Instead of improving their product, they would just kind of strengthen the rules here. But nevertheless, so let's take a look at the stock here, over the month here. And right now, trading up about, let's see, about 1 to 2% above the IPO. So not bad. It's really not bad. And so just looks like it's not a good day on the stock market. So is everyone buying the dip? Who knows, right? But anyway, BitDegree, very fun stuff here. Now, what happened, at least for me, I actually benefited from this quite a bit. I got a huge licensing deal, and I'd like to see more of those licensing deals, by the way, which is a whole other topic. There's a lot of licensing deals done in other media, but the online courses, it's not done in a very effective way. And it would be nice that if you could do that in an effective way. I've thought about making something to help instructors with that. I might do that in the future. I don't know. But at the same time, BitDegree, very, very, very good stuff. It gets a lot of look how polished this is. Very, very polished. This could be the second marketplace for online courses. It just needs to make sure that it attracts people to make money. And really the money that you want your top person to make, I know it's a small platform, but the top person to make would be anywhere between $10,000 and $50,000 a month. If you can get that to work, then you're on the track here. Now, the other thing is whenever I talk to people at these platforms, I always say this. It's like you want to make it scalable, just like the App Store and Steam is. And I get the feeling they don't think that's a good idea. Well, look, if I make a platform, of course I want people to make a lot of money. That's the whole point of the platform, is so that people can make money and basically make a product. And the money that they're making is just kind of, just clarification that the product is working, right? That's really what it is. And so, at this point, this could be big, right? So that concludes my video. Do you have any questions for me on this issue? I know that a lot of people have asked me about what my relationship with BitDegree was over the years. So if you have any questions for me, let me know if you want to sign up for a BitDegree account, if you like it, if you think it does better than Udemy, what's the kind of pain point that BitDegree doesn't do that Udemy does, right? So that's basically it. And remember, if you really like this channel, you can subscribe to my content. It really does help us making this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video.